What's up gamers, Sweet Johny Cage here, and today I'm going to be reviewing for you Mercenaries 2 World in Flames for the PC, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and the Xbox 360. Now please be aware that the footage used in this video was from the PlayStation 3, so you'll be noticing a few graphical errors, but I'm actually going to be talking about that. It happens in pretty much every version of the game, and it really kind of makes the game. Mercenaries 2 World in Flames is published by EA, but it was developed by Pandemic Studios. Pandemic is known for, obviously, the first Mercenaries, Playground of Destruction from back in 2005, the more recent Destroy All Humans, Star Wars Battlefront, Army Man Real-Time Strategy, Battlezone 2. They've been around the block for a while developing games, but until now, in my opinion, they haven't had a fairly large hit. Gameplay in Mercenaries 2 World in Flames is pretty good for the most part. There are some serious graphical errors, but they make the game, honestly. There's something we've all come to call the car launch glitch, and it's basically done by using your melee attack while trying to jump into a car. And you basically press the two buttons, one right after the other, and you pretty much launch the car as it's seen here. The controls in Mercenaries 2 are spot on. X is to jump, circle is to melee, L1 is to zoom, R1 to fire. Pretty basic stuff. I haven't really noticed too many errors with controls, so, I'm not really going to get too far into that. One thing I have noticed is that the camera could use some work. It follows the over-the-shoulder third-person view, but often glitches when the character turns to face a different direction. What happens is that the camera doesn't move, but the character does. So you would think that you would shoot in the direction that the character's facing, but you really wind up shooting in the direction that the camera's facing. So you could throw a grenade and your arm will move towards the direction that you're facing, but the grenade will go in the direction of the camera. Now this game has a comedic twist to it to begin with, kind of like a dark comedy, so it just kind of adds to that, so I'm really not complaining. I think it's kind of funny when it happens, but it does happen often. But I did notice that the camera does get sticky at times, when you're trying to move it around and when you're trying to quickly dodge bullets. It really doesn't cooperate that well, so it could use some work. The story is surprisingly very well written. You star as one of 3 mercenaries. I chose Matthias, but it doesn't matter which one you choose, you'll be playing the same exact story, just as a different person. The story revolves around you getting revenge on the new Venezuelan Prime Minister, who basically rose to power through a military coup. The man's name is Solano, and he had actually hired you in the very beginning of this game to rescue a military general named Carmona. However, once you rescue the man, Solano orders his men to kill you, but you actually get shot in the ass while jumping off the balcony, and you escape. You then vow to get revenge on Solano and his men, and the story progresses from there. What I found really interesting about this game, and I really have to hand it to the writers of this game, is that it kind of revolves around an oil crisis. We all live in a day and age where oil pretty much rules everything. I kind of find it to be really smart on the writer's part to kind of revolve this thing around this, but it does take place in 2010, so hopefully this all doesn't actually happen in 2010. Some people are saying that the game plays a lot like Grand Theft Auto, but I don't really see that, to be honest. I think they're only saying that because you steal cars, boats, trucks, helicopters, pretty much anything that isn't nailed down and is drivable. So I really don't see the relation aside from the fact that you steal cars and boats and helicopters and stuff. Aside from graphical clipping, the graphic quality is stunning. Pandemic Studios did an excellent job in environmental detail. You really feel like you're on an island with the scenery around you. From the sunsets to the sea to the cars to the trees, everything around you creates a submersive environment for you to destroy. And that brings me to my next topic, and probably the reason why people are actually going to buy this game. You can blow pretty much everything up in this game. Prime example, there's a hedge maze on Solano's property that you can go through to get around a wall. Or, you can do what I did and just plant some C4 and blow the wall to bits and walk right through to the next area. Virtually anything is destructible, even houses and buildings. Just a warning, don't get too trigger happy because you might wind up blowing something up that you might need in the future. I've blown up plenty of buildings that have health packages, ammo, guns, tons of stuff that I really could have used. And the game auto-saves, at least that's the feature that I have, so you might just want to be a little bit careful when you're doing that sort of stuff. Overall, I'm going to give this game an 85 out of 100. I'm really only taking off points for the graphic clipping and the fact that the characters say the same 3 phrases over and over and over and over again. Matthias names any gun he picks up and tells them that they're going to kill a lot of people together. With every single gun that you pick up. You can pick up the same assault rifle 5 times and he'll say that. And every character has their own set of 3 phrases that they repeat. So it just gets a little irritating to hear, but the game is a ton of fun. Especially when you're playing on the PS3 network and Xbox Live. It's a ton of fun. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for me in my review of Mercenaries 2 World in Flames. If you'd like to check out more information on this game, and I highly suggest you do, please look to the right of this video inside of the video description for a link to VideoGameCentral.com. Also in the video description, you can find a link to the Gamer's Voice blog and podcast where we go live every Thursday night. Guys, I'm Sweet Johny Cage. Thanks for watching my review of Mercenaries 2 World in Flames.